Okay, so for those that are watching you, who are those people that are most likely to become students? Like, who are those that you find that find you?
The ones who find me. It's an interesting question because they really, my students would run the gamut. I have students who are really hardcore seekers who have been traveling a very conscious spiritual path for a very long time, who have moved through multiple paths. I have students who have been Catholic, students who have been Buddhist, students who have spent time in ashrams. I have students who have followed Native American tradition. I have students who've pretty much done all of it. I have students who really never had any religious training whatsoever or spiritual background, meaning they don't necessarily have a sense of some of the things that people like in the New Age community would take for granted, like an understanding of the archangels or an understanding of what karma is or reincarnation, things like that. And then there are some who like never had any of it, but they just kind of wind up in front of me for one reason or another. And then before they know it, they're doing this work. So it's about where the level of evolution that the soul at that point is at. And when it's right timing, the student just finds me. So, we don't really, and haven't in the past, really marketed my personal work. And that's because it's kind of hard to market. And it's always been that when the student's ready, they find me, and then we kind of take it from there.
Okay, so it sounds like they can come from anywhere, any walk of life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that matters, and here's the thing, when you're doing this work, it's work that's releasing what has been learned, right? So what you're doing is moving into a space of releasing conditioned behaviors and patterned behaviors. So everything you learned up to this point doesn't necessarily make you a better candidate for this level of work. It can actually make it more difficult. If you come in having spent time in, like, say, 4 or 5 different religious traditions, now you have all of the belief systems that comprise those traditions that are locked into your psyche. And it's that much more that we have to now undo. So someone who comes in who just is very open, humble, and willing to say, what I know is that I don't know, and I'm willing to be led. Like that's all I need. Whether you've had a lot of training or you've had 0 training, it doesn't matter. The important thing is your humility, your recognition that, you're coming because there is a void, a hole there that you can recognize that you need assistance with, because if you were capable of walking out on your own, you would have done it by now. And then the commitment and the courage that it takes to do the work that you'll have to do, to move through this great undoing that leads you back to that which you already are. So yeah, when all those components are in place, that's all I need.